Hello everyone. Today I'm going to take a look at AI-generated content versus user-generated content. And these two categories have been exploding over the past couple of years, especially the AI, but even with the user-generated content. Both of them are finding their niche, and we're trying to figure out which one is going to be the best. Although really the answer is each category will be best depending upon the platform and the user that you're trying to target. But in any case, they're not necessarily in conflict with each other because they can overlap. But we just want to take a quick overhead view of this discussion and just see what's going on. So at first, I took a look at ChatGPT, and here's actually you don't. I'm going to start with what comes at the bottom here. Some related news. It says that majority of Americans trust what's online less than ever before. So, I mean, I think that's a little bit of a discussion between AI and user-generated content because you can use AI to create things that look like user-generated content, and then even with user-generated content, you can use AI to enhance what you're seeing with the user generated content, but then you can pay. It's becoming wider and wider that you can pay someone to create user generated content. So I mean, it still comes down to the individual consumer discretion to really discern that. Although I mean, let's face it, being a consumer is becoming even more and more complex as we go along. I'm an expert AI. There again, fake AI reviews. I hear everything from like Amazon to like several e-commerce stores just with all fake AI reviews. So that's something that you have to watch out for. And the rise of AI influencer. Yeah, there we go. There's an AI acting like a natural user, and to our eyes, 99.9% of the time, especially as all the AI becomes more sophisticated, we won't be able to tell the difference between, what's AI generated and what's real. So let's jump right into ChatGPT and figure out what it's talking about. Here's a comprehensive summary of user-generated content versus AI-generated content, AIGC, as of 2025, supported by up-to-date insights. Scale and prevalence. AI-generated content across the web eliminates or estimates indicate at least 30-40% of active web page contains AI-generated text. That's huge. That I think that's probably only in the past maybe year or two. Anyways, on social media, projections suggest 40% of content is AI generated by 2025, and 71% of social media images are AI created as of March 2025. Again, another huge statistic there. The market is heavily using AI. 35% of digital marketing content is AI assisted. I can definitely believe that, if not higher. Among web pages, 74.2% of AI generated content, with 86.5% of top ranking pages including some AI material. Very good. And then user generated content. UGC still holds major cultural value. On TikTok, UGC is reported to be 22% more effective than branded content. By 2023, UGC is projected to form 78% of all online content. Consumer UGC is significantly more genuine, 9.8, and more authentic than influencer created content. And UGC boosts web conversions by 29%. So that's a pretty big stat right there. It's saying that UGC will boost conversions by 29%. To be honest, I don't think that it's comparing the AI there, but let's continue on. Efficiency, cost, and productivity. AI generated content. AI enables content creation at impressive scale. Marketers generate 42% of their content monthly. The time to write a 1,500 word blog post drops from about 4 hours to about 1.5 hours with AI assistance. Users produce far more videos, from 4 to 8 videos a month to 100 and 300 videos a month 3,750% increase. That's pretty huge. Cost efficiency is substantial. AI text costs zero point 0.5 per 1,000 words versus 200 for a human written. And then AI images, 10 cents versus 150. AI videos, 3 minutes versus $1,000 a minute. Those are some huge stats. User-generated content. While not scalable, UGC comes with high reliability and trust. It doesn't always match AI in volume or speed, but often wins in authenticity and driven results. So again, that's a huge win right there. If from what I'm getting is if you can make user-generated content in your own work, then that will likely win out, rather than something that you can scale quite a bit on. But, it just depends upon what your resources are. Engagement, trust, and effectiveness. AI generated content. Engagement can be high, but authenticity issues persist. AI UGC may get more views, but can feel clunky or uncanny. A TikTok study, AI generated video ads achieve 8 times more organic views, 4 times more likes, and 7 times more saves, and 2 times more comments compared to designer made ads. In content marketing experiments, AI pages might rank faster but show less stable traffic and lower engagement over time than human written content. AI slop, low quality, mass produced content is a growing concern. User-generated content. Users naturally trust peer-created content. A poll found only 41% of Americans trust what they read online is accurate in human-generated. Nearly half suspect AI involvement in social media, news, and reviews. In marketing, one user wrote, audience sniff out AI quite easily. It's worth not real people with authentic storytelling rather than AI reliance. Industry trends and future outlook. AI generated content. 86% of advertisers now use or plan to use generative AI for video ads. AI is expected to make up 40% of all videos by 2026. AI influencers like hyper-realistic avatars are on the rise, offering cost-effective branding through human influencers still outperform them in engagement and earnings. Trust concerns are mounting. Fake AI reviews are on the upswing, over 5% in categories like baby products and beauty, prompting regulatory attention. Overall, Americans' trust online content is at a low, with 78% finding it increasingly difficult to differentiate AI from human content. User-generated content. UGC remains a cornerstone of social and e-commerce engagement, especially when combined with AI for support. For example, AI-generated metadata titles on UGC platforms increased watch time by up to 4.1%, especially when co-created with humans. So that sounds pretty interesting. That prompting regulatory attention. Maybe what will happen is if your video is using AI generated content in your advertising, perhaps you'll have to put a watermark or a disclaimer somewhere that you're using AI at that moment. Summary table, prevalence, AI generated content, 30-40% of web text, and then 40% of social context. UGC, high engagement, but projected at 78% by 2023. Cost and speed, AI generated content is extremely low, fast, and massive scale, and user generated content is time intensive and more artisanal and authentic. Engagement, mixed, high reach, but often lacks emotional depth. And then user generated content, strong authenticity, trust, and conversions. Trust and perception, growing skepticism, risk of AI slop and mistrust. And then user generated content, seen as highly authentic and relatable. Widespread adoptions, regulation rising, continued valued, especially in emotional marketing. So Those are pretty interesting. Yeah, my first impression was maybe if you're just doing like an awareness campaign, then maybe you want to try testing out with some AI generated content, and then when the user is closer or lower in the funnel, maybe you switch to user generated content. But you know what? You could probably flip back and forth with those. And then final takeaway: AIGC offers unprecedented efficiency, scale, and cost savings, making it a powerful tool in marketing, content production, and automation. However, the trade off lies in authenticity, trust, and consumers are starting to notice. UGC, on the other hand, remains invaluable for authenticity, engagement, and trust. Content created by real people today still outperform AI in many contexts, especially in areas where they rely on emotional resonance and consumer confidence. The sweet spot, human AI collaboration, co-creation where AI assists but the humans refine, can combine AI efficiency with UGC's trustworthiness. So we've got some pretty fun takeaways from that, but you know what, let's go a little bit deeper. And I noticed in a couple of these reviews here where you could see, this right here is AI generated. So what you can do is you can take an advertisement like this where you have the pedals just floating in there randomly, but you can upgrade that with AI. So then you can start, so you get the same advertisement essentially, but you get something a little bit more eye-catching with the leaf petals falling down around it. And let's see if we can find another advertisement here. Oh, so this one's, I think this one here is just showing you that you can get, title prompts with the emojicons there, some body of some text. And then here's an image of an image created by DALL-E 3, although I think that this probably looks a little bit out of date. Yeah. This article was made, 2 or 3 months ago, and already I'm looking at this water buffalo and detecting that it looks fake. But anyways, let's continue on to user-generated content. So let's take a look at this. Can I full screen it? All right. Let's take a look at this TikTok. And it's somebody walking into, I think, a Disney library. And it just looks very impressive. And if I remember the article, we can see right here. This one alone has 5.7 million views. So that's very impressive of something that was just created by a user. Let's see if there's another example here. So I don't know if this is an example inside the article, but this is just a picture of somebody showing off their award. But sometimes things like that can get a lot of attention. Oh, and of course GoPros. These usually get tons and tons of views, and I think Red Bull really latched onto these styles of videos where essentially you just catch people doing extreme sort of sports, and it just looks very impressive. And see this kid right here, she's just kind of really enjoying water skiing here. And it's on a beautiful day. The water is looking amazing. And so if you were to try to sell maybe this wakeboard here, or maybe you were trying to sell a boat, or maybe a trip around, then something like this would be amazing. Let's try looking at that again with a little bit higher quality. Oh yeah, there we go. Look, just look at that kid. That's a big smile on the kid's face. Again, the water's looking amazing. Trees are looking amazing. I mean, why would you not want to get one of these wakeboards right here? All right, so I think I will call it right there. And basically, I think what we got from that is both AIGC and UGC have a place. It's just knowing when and where to use it. And then, sometimes you combine the different channels together. If you like this, please like and subscribe, and put some comments below if you want to see something more specific. Thank you. Bye.